Welcome to day 151 of our Let's Grow annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we're working on mental growth as we have been this entire month. And we're applying the growing process to an area of mental growth that we want to improve and set a goal for, which we did in step 1. But step 6 is never quit, never give up, never stop trying to achieve your goal and objective, never give up on yourself, never just throw in the towel and say, oh, this is me, this is how I am, I'm never going to change or get better or be a better version of myself. So there's a lot of different ways we can do this, especially with respect to our mental growth and mental health and our mental well-being. We've talked about these pretty extensively this month. Things like cultivating a growth mindset. When we have a growth mindset, we're open to the possibilities. When we practice self-compassion and cut ourselves some slack, guess what? We're all human. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes, but we want to learn from them. We have to, give ourselves a little grace and love and self-love when we make mistakes, because we're going to make mistakes. And if we do that, and if we learn from those mistakes, then we probably won't make them again. We want to seek support when necessary, meaning friend support, family support, professional support, whatever is appropriate for the stage of life and the situation that we're going through. We want to stay flexible and open-minded to the possibilities that are out there in order to keep us moving forward, to motivate us, and to remind us that there's no such thing as failure as long as we don't just give up and quit. The only way you can fail at something or at anything is if you just quit. There's always a way to morph or change or pivot. Pivot became a popular word in the pandemic era, and it kind of makes me cringe, but pivoting is really important. Being able to switch and change and be flexible and agile is important in every area and aspect of our life. No more so than in our mental aspect, because it's such a foundational piece of who we really are. And then we also want to focus on solutions. Reading a book, and I spend a lot of time with my youngest granddaughters. They're 1 and 3 now, and they're both very spirited girls, very, very spirited girls. And so there's a book called The Spirited Child, and in it talks about being a problem-solving family and finding ways to get to yes. Instead of always saying no, find ways to make things possible and be a problem-solving family. And I absolutely love that, because so many people nowadays aren't thinking for themselves and aren't being problem solving and solution focused. They're focusing on the problem and they're feeling sorry for themselves and they're making excuses, but none of that helps to actually solve the problem that's in our faces. We need to say, okay, this just happened. What are we going to do about it? Or what am I going to do about it? And then do that. One of my favorite tools that I want to talk about today, and that's going to be actually our action item, is called affirmations. And I just have my graphic for affirmations, because I want to talk about how to create an affirmation. Oh, here we go. Instead of an affirmation. And what's the difference? Everybody knows an affirmation. I don't know if everybody knows, but we ought to know by now, depending on how old we are. An affirmation is an I am statement. It's things we tell ourselves about ourselves and that we actually believe about ourselves. I am smart. I am stupid. I am a klutz. I am awesome. I am brave. I am a coward. Whatever it is we tell ourselves after I am, and we do it in our head all the time, all day long, every day, all of our life. What we tell ourselves we are, that's what we believe we are, and that's what we actually will become, unless we have a way to stop that process for things that aren't empowering us and don't feel good for us. Like if I say I'm a klutz, that's kind of neutral, but it's not really good, right? I don't want to be a klutz. The older I get, the less I like falling down or doing klutzy things or making mistakes. And so I want to get rid of that. Well, what are some ways to get rid of that and any other I am statement or belief or affirmation we've been telling ourselves that doesn't feel right for us, and or we don't want to carry with us going forward into the future as we're becoming a better growing person. And so how do we do that? And one of my favorite ways to do it, because it gets around our subconscious, is to do something called affirmations. I don't remember who I learned this from, but it's been a couple of decades now that I've used these, and I automatically take affirmations and put them in the affirmation framework. And I'll tell you why as we go through an example. And we just say the I am statement. I am what it is, what we want, and that feels good for us, or that's a stretch goal for us. Then we say, how can I blank do that thing, be that thing, am that thing? And then finally, why is it so easy for me to be, do, or have the affirmation that I'm affirming, the thing that I'm affirming. So let's get an example of this. Let's use an ant, right? Ants. I'm going to do this with all of my ants. ANTS, automatic negative thoughts, because that's my area that I'm working on for this particular run through the growth frame or the growing framework. And so I'm going to say, I am good enough. And what does that negate? I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. I'm not worthy. Any of those. And we can do the same thing and change those all into affirmations. So whenever one of those pop into our head, we automatically replace it with, I am good enough. I am worthy. I am awesome, or whatever feels right for you. Well, how can I be enough? How am I enough right now? How am I good enough right now? Where am I showing up in my life that I am 100% confident that I'm good enough already, right? Maybe it's in school. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's as a mom. Maybe it's as a sister, an aunt, whatever it is for you. And then finally, the third version of it. So is it, I am blank. How can I blank? And finally, why is it so easy for me? And why do we want to say, how can I? And why is it so easy for me? Because those get us immediately into, and they enlist our subconscious into helping us answer those questions. Well, how can I make this true for me? How is this true for me? Why is it so easy for me to do this? Well, because it aligns with my core values and my goals. See, our subconscious will start serving up all kinds of answers. Our subconscious does that for everything. Anything we say about ourselves, whether it's a lie or not, or true or not, our subconscious will feed us evidence, making us believe on a subconscious and then conscious level that it's true. So if I say, I am a klutz, why is it so easy for me to be a klutz? How can I be a better klutz today? Guess what? My subconscious is going to feed me all the things I need to know and do, and make sure I do klutzy things today in order to reinforce that belief about myself. We can do this for positive things to replace those negative or less than desirable things to create the life that we want. And that starts with a solid foundation of mental growth. So what's our action item today? Take and think about, as you're going through your day today, one thing that will motivate you and cause you to never give up about yourself, and make it an affirmation instead of just an affirmation. I am never going to quit. I don't quit. I'm not a quitter. I stick to it no matter what. Why is it so easy for me to stick to something that's important to me? Why is it so easy for me to follow through? How can I follow through, or how can I take action on this right now? Things like that. We want to ask ourselves questions that allow our subconscious, our whole mental power and capability, not just our conscious capability. How can we get all of our mind and mental capacities working for us to create what we want? And I find affirmations to be one of the best, easiest, most fun tools to do that. I'll let you know a little secret. I actually do affirmations when I brush my teeth every morning and every night. Why? Because I've turned it into a habit, that in a thing that I automatically do that reinforces what I want. My long-term legacy goals, I've turned into affirmations, and I say them every day when I'm brushing my teeth, because then I don't ever forget them. I'm always doing it. And what I want becomes automatic. What I want to see happen in my life becomes automatic. All right, that's all I've got today. That's our action item. Create one affirmation for yourself and try it out today and see how it makes you feel. You share in the comments below your affirmation if you're brave enough, or you can share how doing it made you feel. Did it make you feel worse? Did it make you feel better? Did it open any aha epiphanies for you? Share those in the comments below, because those are the things that help us to help one another the most. Have an awesome day. Any questions? Hit me up. You know what to do. Otherwise, I will be creating my affirmation for today, and I will be with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day.